Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Darrell Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the live stream today. It's good to be here. I'm going on and share this real quick on this other page. Give me a quick second. I know today we had the solar eclipse. I hope those of you didn't try to brave yourself and look at the eclipse yourself. My little girl was they looked at it at school because they had the special glasses. And I heard out there in Dallas, the animals was kind of acting funny. Give me a quick second. All right, I'm checking myself. The animals acting kind of funny and everything. Hold on, let me see here. Hold on, what we got? Let me get all my comments up. Boom. Trying to see where is my comments on the screen. Why don't I see my live chat? I know it. Give me a second. Why we don't see live chat? Live chat. Okay, all right. I want to make sure that live chat was working. All right, perfect. Well, as y'all getting in, hope y'all had a good weekend. I was just kind of, this new season, allergy season, always this time of year. God, man, I was just dealing with it. That threw me off my routine. Friday, of course, Friday was had to do my wife's, birthday dinner and stuff like that. Shout out to my wife, I'll let her happy birthday to my wife. And I had to go do some shopping. So they just came out with some new perfume, Burberry, fellas. Burberry Goddess smell pretty good. So I ended up getting her that one, some shoes, some heels type of stuff like that. Just different, we all just, celebrating, the wife's birthday and things like that. Weekend, man, I was just chilling. I couldn't, sometimes you have to understand when we do this stuff, you got to take a break, even mentally. Sometimes you can't even create within yourself sometimes because you know what? I really need to chill my nerves. I need to back off a little bit. And it's rare if I just lay down in the room. Like I lay down, watching TV, just chilling, and everything. So, after kind of like the weekend and I'm still, I'm kind of getting over this stuff a little bit, just all this allergies and whatever the case may be. So I definitely can be back on my regular routine tomorrow, get myself up and head directly to the gym. I like getting up about 6 o'clock, head directly to the gym and just that's my great stress reliever and just great for my overall health, definitely. So, shout out to the gym. Next week, as those of you who are going on the South Africa trip next week, we'll be heading that way. So I'll try to make sure to, I know I'm gonna have to get up at certain times. Hopefully I can, definitely can still stream while I'm over there in South Africa. Probably be at a different time than I normally would stream. But if I do it at this normal time here, I would have to get up kind of like in the morning or so to do it. But I'll figure it out and just give y'all some reports from on the ground while I'm out there in South Africa. Okay, you say you enjoyed the eclipse and all that. Okay, cool. That's great. I didn't go out and see it. I was busy. I was doing meetings today, team meetings, taking care of issues, catching up on emails. I'm like, y'all have fun with it. I had stuff to do, and all of that. So shout out to everybody who's here. All right. Your power went out? That was interesting. None of that happened here at all. None of that happened here. So tonight, as you can see, the title on the screen and all of that, we're talking about certain black people want to oppress their own just like them folks. That is a overall truth. Before we get into that conversation, because that's an important conversation to have, and this is why we actually, you say what kind of holds us back a little bit, is actually the black people in our own community who is oppressing us. Oh yes, there are plenty of black people that are oppressing us in our own community, no matter if they're on the job, no matter if they're in politics, no matter if they are the preacher in the church. There's a lot of black people that's dealing with oppressing their own. But let's go ahead on and get to our devotional, because I know y'all love the devotion, come on. And the interesting part about the devotion is this is one of the people that's participating in the oppression of black people. So let's cue up the devotional.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
What is that?
No comment.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
So this is what it's all about, guys. They don't want a black person in power. They don't want a woman in power. If you ain't seen that yet. And someone so young. Everybody gotta understand, God give you what you can handle. That's what God give you. He ain't gonna give you more than that. As long as you can stay the course, fight the fight, and keep going, that's what we're gonna do here at Thornton Township. And we've been doing a doggone good job.
Clerk, what are you doing? You out of order. You out of order. Did I call the roll? Did I say call the roll? I'm still speaking. You're out of order, Clerk Key. You out of order, Clerk Key. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop, please.
All right, that's a super mayor. And she's part of the people that's actually hurting her own people. She's taking money from her own people. She is not being accountable to her own people, right? When they entrusted her to do what's right. Where did she learn that from? What example did she get this from, right? And how can she sleep good at night knowing she's taking things from the people? Let me check something out. Hurting her own people. Okay, the person that said that my sound is low, I think you need to turn your phone up. I sound okay. That's why I wanted to make sure to check it myself. So there's this video that I kind of saw because, I'm like, sometimes I'm doing these live streams on the fly. I'm kind of getting my ear to the street a little bit, what people talking about, and see if I can even build off of something that's being discussed in the community. And this video is not long. It's going to be a short video, but let's build on this real quick. Let me go ahead on and cue this up. Where are we at? Boom.
You put black women and men in management and they get to abusing black employees like you and me, just as the slave master would if he were in charge. Which is why I will always say, y'all don't really want freedom from oppression. You just want to wield the same power and privilege your white counterparts do.
Short video, but to the point, and actually very, very well said by our sister here. You have to understand that there are some black people within society that, as she said, they don't want freedom. They don't want to do for themselves. They don't want to see self-sufficient black people. They envy the folks. They envy them. They want to wield the same power that the folks wield, right? This is what they want to do. They are the actual people that the folks are afraid of, believe it or not. A lot of folks say, well, if we get in the minority, they're going to do to us what we did to them. That's true. There are some that would do to them what they did to us. That's 100% true. That is a legitimate fear that they have. But the only thing I say about that is maybe you shouldn't have been doing things to people because, they may get at you one day, but that's here nor there. But in relation to our own people, I always say this. If you're a type of person that feel anti-black racism is wrong, but you cool with doing the exact same treatment to somebody else, no matter what the reason, then you're not really against racism. You're not really against discrimination. Sometimes you just want to be in a position where you can be the abuser. Sometimes you want to be in a position where you can be the oppressor because you learned that, and I said before, a lot of you have learned that from your bastardized father. Well, who's your bastardized father? the folks, the white supremacist is your bastardized father. Because some of you speak like him, you think like him, you actually have his values. Some of you, and listen, the reason why I know he's your father, because anything he say is validated. I mean, if he tells you the sky is blue, it's validated. A black person tell you the sky is blue, you dismiss it. So that means that is your bastardized father that you respect. And the problem is a lot of you do act that way. Now, one term they use in the African continent, believe it or not, do, in my opinion, is true to some. Like when they say the term, they'll call a black American, let's say in Swahili, a Mzungu or Wazungu, whatever. Some of that fit because some of you are white in the mind. You are. You completely a white man. You completely a white woman in the mind. That's not all of us, but some of you are. Some of you have no problem harming other black people. Let's go to that Congressional Black Caucus. They are the main Mzungu, right? The Wazungu, whatever you want to call them that day. They are the main ones because they look at us as someone to use and oppress. And when they get in positions of power, like the Congressional Black Caucus, they do the bidding of the Democrats who are not look like me and you. We are not in control of that party. We don't steer that party or whatever. Every black politician, if you look at them in America, the majority of them care about their check. They care about doing the bidding of the folks and harming their own people. You look at Brandon Johnson in Chicago. What is he doing? You had Sister Carter here, a few days ago. He's prioritizing everybody else and harming the black community. And the problem is, and I'm glad some of us is starting to slowly wake up to it. The folks will be like, okay, let's put a Brandon Johnson in place to do what we can't get away with. Because see, y'all won't let the folks get away with certain things because y'all be pouncing on them. Y'all be protesting. Y'all be ready to boycott. Y'all be ready to do all kind of things when they do it. But when a black person do it, it's kind of like, well, you hee-hawing around or being, we can't be coming at our own like that. We can't go. No. If you are doing things against the community, I look at you no different than I would look at them. Period. What black mayor do we have? It's funny we talk about, the super mayor. Yeah, that's quite funny. But let's keep it 100. Yeah, she's doing wrong, but Brandon Johnson is worse. He's worse than her. Yeah, she's done things, she's taken money, and yes, she needs to be dealt with. But Brandon Johnson is literally taking people from whole other countries and putting them right smack dab in the black community. And it wouldn't been for people like Sister Carter and those residents in the Austin neighborhood, they would have lost their field house to that situation. That's how I found out about Sister Carter and the rest of that community, is because they stood up to Brandon Johnson. Not a white liberal, but a so-called black man that's supposed to be from your community is sitting up here harming black people. And I'm like, how do you sleep good at night knowing that you're harming your own community? It's no amount of check in the world that I can collect that I'm like, man, forget them, I'm good. Like, how do you step outside? Like, how? How you not worried about somebody pulling up on you and say, hey, man, like, what's the deal, bruh? Like, we voted for you. We expected you to do good for the community, and you acting worse than them folks are. You doing worse than Rahm Emanuel was doing. What's up, bruh? Eric Adams, he another one. They go along with the Democrat agenda, and that agenda is not to promote black people, to help black people. It is to harm black people. Now, people talk about Joe Biden and what he's doing. Well, he got plenty of help to do it. He's not doing it alone. Look at Muriel Bowser in D.C., the new initiative they doing with the cops over there. A whole so-called black woman with a lot of black people in D.C. And shout out to D.C. because, last time I went to D.C., man, I met a lot of y'all out there in the street. Man, I got nothing but love out there in D.C. Shout out to y'all, man. And you got a whole black woman doing all these initiatives about the police. And these initiatives going to harm black people. They have no problem using black people. Let me tell you something. If you see the Democrats really, or any group, propping up a black person like that, unfortunately. Okay, let's get to Bill Lacey here for a minute. I don't know who you is, because you don't know who I vote for or how I do it. Still voting for people who's not helping, no matter what color, so shut down this government, no voting, and how you feel voting for retirement age folks, real talk. Okay. Bill, I have a different mindset about retirement. I believe retirement is when God takes me home. That's what retirement is for me. Now, I've saw also people that retire and then they get sick and die, because the Bible teaches without a vision, people perish. Not to say you can leave your job and go start something new. I'm not saying you got to work some job 40, 50 years. Hell no. But I just believe people should have a vision and should they always stay working, doing something. Even if it's traveling the world and whatever the case may be, you're doing something. You shouldn't be just sitting around. So I don't know about retirement. And this Social Security, I'm not looking for it to be here. Personally, I've accepted that. I paid into a system that's not going to be here, so you better go on and set up your own Social Security for yourself. You better save your own money, because these people have squandered our money. Call it what it is, because there's going to be less and less workers in the future. AI and all that stuff is taking over. It's going to be less workers paying into the system. So there you go. Now, when it comes to this system, and I know, listen, the best, and Democrats are against this, I think privatization of Social Security would be better. In other words, let me have my own account, kind of like a 401k. I can see what went into my Social Security account. I can't touch my account, I would say 62. I can't touch my account to 62, but at least nobody's taking out of my account. It's my money. And if I didn't work, I don't get nothing. If I work, I get it. But at least they can't take out of it if it's privatized. But some people don't agree with privatization of Social Security. But what you got now is them just taking out money, and the boomers and all of them, they getting all the money. But when people my age get older, like Gen X, at minimum, we're not going to have anything. So don't depend on that. Now, you have to understand the term, and I think some of you talking about moratorium manumission, what black people, they did something good for the slave master. They would get certain benefits. Maybe even they get their own freedom in some instances during slavery if they did something for the slave master, like if they stopped a rebellion, or if they created like an invention for the slave master and it benefited him. Or maybe he was just he was real good at managing the plantation. They say, look, if you can do this for so long, I'll give you your freedom. I'll do this, I'll do that. That same mindset is still here. Now, on top of that, when we talking about the plantation, now let's add in the next group. Let's add in immigrants from all over the world. But definitely let's add in the Emmanuel Achos of the world, right? And I'm going to talk about him on the Black congregation, but Emmanuel Acho feels that, well, he doesn't have the trauma and sting of slavery, even though you come from a land of colonization, which is kind of bad, right? It is bad. What happened to Nigeria? What about the Nigerian Civil War? Who started the Nigerian Civil War? Why is it that Nigerians have issues and problems? Because how they carved up Nigeria, how they purposely put certain tribes in certain areas so to make them fight each other. But instead of him talking about the trauma of the Nigerian Civil War, instead of him talking about the trauma of what's happening to his people right now in Nigeria, people like Emmanuel Acho is a freaking sellout even to Nigerians. He's a sellout. He don't care about what's going on with Nigerians back home. He ain't thinking about them. And that's despicable that you become a joppa, you run, and then you come over here, and then now you think you're going to be some little spokesperson for black people. And I'm so glad that black people at this stage in the game, that we are saying, nah, bruh, If you're not from the home team, you gotta keep quiet, brother, because we don't get involved in your mess. We don't say we are spokesmen of your community, so we expect the same thing. And because people like that, remember the sister last week, the African sister that said they come over here, they immigrant first, then they feel they got to get with the folks. Well, if you get with the folks, no matter where anybody comes from, you have to be an anti-black American racist in order to be on their team. So if you're telling me you got to get with the folks in order to be successful, that means you're going to have to harm me, you're going to have to sabotage me, you're going to have to cut my throat. You understand? I understand that. So that's what becomes real dangerous until you find out in the end, like Candace Owens, no matter how much tap dancing you do, no matter how much selling out you do, at the end of the day, these people will never respect you. Remember what I told y'all before when a white nationalist told me? He said that we will use people like Candace Owens, but at the end of the day, we still don't trust them. And he said, because how do you turn against your own people for another group of people? He said, that's dangerous and that doesn't even make sense. He said, but we'll use them, and when they get out of line, we get rid of them. And that's what happened to Candace Owens, and that's what happened to anybody, whether they Black American or they a Black immigrant, whatever. If you think you in there with these people, you better think again. You better really think again. You all that tap dancing, yeah, they'll paper you up a little while. They'll paper you up. Oh, they'll take care of you real well. Like I said, Candace Owens is the best example. They will give you money. They will gas you up. They'll put you on all the platforms. They'll give you millions of dollars to talk down on black people. But they always know one day you're going to become uppity. And you're going to think you so much more because now you transcended black people. Now you think you going to wag your finger at them. And they've been waiting on that day anyway. They've been waiting. And the moment they realize that day has come because you have become too uppity, they about to smack you right on down the sides, and all that money and all that selling out you've been doing for years, now you're going to have to deal with it. And it comes so swift, so soon. Ask Candace Owens. Ask her. Some of you who's out here right now who are mayors, selling out your community, your day coming, because them Democrats, because most of you Democrats, them Democrats is not going to have your back if you're a black Republican and you selling out your people. Them Republicans is not going to have your back at the end of the day. They going to cash you out too. If you're a black police officer out here who's, like Ice Cube has said, black cop showing out for the white cop, that kind of cop, if you out here doing black people wrong, your day gonna come too, because them white police officers that you showing out for, to harming your own people, they not gonna have your back. They gonna throw you underneath the bus. You'll get charges put on you, and the same white cops, they not gonna get no charges. But you will, and you gonna be in prison. How many times have y'all tried to pull the same stunts that white cops pull? And I know it's a pattern. Y'all get fired immediately, and y'all get charged. It don't take long. Derek Chauvin and them, when they do that sort of thing, it has to be a nationwide turn up before he gets some charges. Clearly you seeing that, the law works. They just make sure the law only works on you. It just don't work on them. Right? If we would not treat each other that way, when we get in management positions, we need to look out for each other. Hell yeah, practice nepotism. You doggone right. Every group practice nepotism on the job. I've seen it. White folks practice nepotism. Hispanics practice nepotism. Asians practice nepotism. I've seen them so dirty, they'll try to get you fired, and then when they get one of y'all fired, they bringing their people in. How many times have you seen that? We the only group of people on the job who don't do that. We don't do that. We ain't watching somebody if they clocking in on time. We can try to get them out the door to bring in your cousin that need a job. We not doing that. Oh, but these other groups, some of y'all probably got fired behind these other groups. And then somebody on the job tell you, yeah, man, they brought in their brother. But they've been watching you, hoping you mess up so they can get you out that door. Yeah, Jamel Hill, another one, she was fired from ESPN. All that mess you do, all that's the Sage Steele of the world. Who another one they gonna get rid of eventually? Malika Andrews, you another one. You another one. They gonna get rid of you too. Then you gonna be coming running around talking about, hey, I love, the black community. I'm part of it. Oh, really? Now you're a part of it? Candace Jr., it's coming. Gary, oh God, Gary. Gary, are you listening? How does Tiffany Henyard fit into this? She's stealing from black people. That's how she fit into this. You're harming black people by stealing their money. Do you know that woman's story? You need to take the time, go watch the thousands of news reports on Tiffany Henyard, and you need to get caught up, because obviously you're not caught up. Yeah, they bring in their like you say, Chris, their mediocre cousins. They bring in all these people, and but they got you out of there. But I want you to pay attention to some of these other groups, what they don't do. Notice the Asian, the Hispanic, the East Indian, whoever, they never trying to get the white boy out of there. But they're sure trying to get the black boy out. They know who to pull that on. They will never pull that on them. Because especially these people who come in as immigrants, they have way more fear of the folks than we ever, trust me, they fear them because they feel like I can't cross them because they're going to get me deported, or I need them, or remember what the sister said, success comes through them. Not success comes through you or your hard work, but success comes through aligning yourself with them. As black Americans, we can't align ourselves with them. How is it that we have, in the midst of all our trouble, still have done good and have not had to? Every black person that has aligned with them, the alliance wasn't long. It wasn't long. If you look at some of the business dealings some black folks had with them, they never come out on a good end of it. They could come out on a good end if they would do good business. But it's like this. Why would you enter into a business agreement with anybody that says, if I say anything, that I say certain things, then I'm gonna lose all my money? For instance, let's say me. Let me say me. Oh, Phil signed $1 billion deal with, throw a company out there, I don't know, Spotify. But one day I was speaking on a certain topic, and Spotify didn't like what I said, so now I lost my whole deal, right? Because I said something they didn't like. Why would I sign a deal that I didn't have a freedom of speech clause in it? In other words, I can say what I want to say unless something I'm saying is criminal, or I'm doing something criminal, I get it. But if it was not criminal, like just something to that instance, I should say what I want to say. And if I cannot say what I want to say within reason, because obviously you wanted to mess with me because of what I was saying, right? You like what I'm saying. So now because certain people don't like it, no, I would want to sign a deal with you. We'll say, well, we could sign a deal, it would be for less money. Let's give you an example. I'd rather have my freedom of speech and say what I want to say than you telling me 1 minute, he's on the Forbes list, he is a billionaire. The next minute, you rip my deal away, and now I ain't none of that no more. But when I went into that doggone deal, I knew the terms. So either you bite your tongue or whatever. I'm just giving an example of that. Like that's silly how people enter into these deals. Or some people fumble their bag. I've seen that too. Like the P. Diddy situation with the Ciroc. And I think about his whole situation. All P. Diddy had to do was just do right by the people. Let them people eat. Let your artists eat. Stop being a doggone pervert. Just P. Diddy was getting $60 million a year from Ciroc. He didn't have to do nothing but just collect his money. Hey, Ciroc this, Ciroc that. You could, man, look, 1 year you could say, you know what, I'm gonna put $60 million in every year I'm gonna put $60 million in my kids' account. I'm gonna leave them $60 million. It don't even come out of me. That's their inheritance whenever the Lord read it for me. No, P. Diddy could not be just a godly man. He hurt a lot of black people down in the years. Everybody know the rumors. That's another person. That's harmed black people. Notice, now he's done something, I'm kind of curious about some of this stuff with Justin Bieber though, but for the most part, he harmed a lot of black people. Look at Shine. Shine took all that time. We know where Shine didn't do that in that nightclub. We know that. Shine took, you gotta have that man do 10 years of his life for you. How could I sleep at night knowing another man is in prison? I don't care if I put $1 million a month on his books. How I could sleep at night knowing I got another black man in prison for something I did. But you got some black folks out here in society that have no problem harming you. They have no problem. That's why you cannot be around people who are snakes. You can't be around, even if they're your doggone family. You cannot be around people that's gonna harm you, man. Don't be around it. Yeah, Lisa mentioned Oprah Winfrey. She another one. She's harmed a lot of black women in particular. And I don't see how anybody say, oh, Oprah, like, well, for the most part, a lot of black communities kind of woke up on Oprah now. She's not this, has the status that she used to have. But still, she's harmed a lot. Think about it. How many black women she could have helped over the years? Every time I looked up, she was helping someone that was not a black person. Dr. Phil. You wouldn't know no Dr. Phil it wouldn't been for Oprah Winfrey. Dr. Oz. You wouldn't know him wouldn't been for Oprah Winfrey. So you mean to tell me you didn't have no black doctors that you could have helped out to bring up to that level? That's what I'm talking about. Like, other groups don't put us on like that, man. They don't. They do not put us on. But we are the group that want to put everybody else on. And then what these people do, they're not even grateful to you. They're not even faithful to you to say, man, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. It wouldn't be for Oprah, man. Man, shout out to Oprah. Like, man, Dr. Phil don't even talk about Oprah like that. Dr. Oz don't even talk about Oprah like that. They don't. For all they know, they did it themselves. But that's what happens when you putting everybody else on instead of putting people on your own community. Lizzo complaining, saying that she a victim, but a lot of ladies are saying that Lizzo was a freaking deviant too. And now she's mad because people coming at her. Lizzo come out here being a straight degenerate, shaking her behind at the Laker game and all kind of other things she's doing in front of people who bring their children to watch a basketball game. But then she's mad that people keep coming for her. No, you put yourself out there for people to come at you. Prime example, I've never had people come at me about anything like that. Why? Because Phil's not going out there being a freaking degenerate. That's why. Now, if I was going out and being a degenerate, everybody be coming at me too. See how that works? You're right, really. J-Lo, she's another one. The Wayans brothers put her on of another community. She don't even talk about the Wayans brothers. Man, remember when Tommy Davidson had said, I think was it on the Breakfast Club or whatever? He said that he seen Jennifer Lopez out. He said, hey, Jennifer, how you doing? She's like really? Like that? It's like that? Like how we go working from each other on the show? Nobody knew who you was except from the show that we were on. And then now you run around here like you don't know nobody. I've noticed that pattern from other groups. It's like when we put them on, I'm gonna say the majority. When we put them on, they got no loyalty to the black community at all. Not even to that person. Man, if Keenan Ivory Wayans had put me on, I was like, man, shout out to Keenan, man. Shout out to the Wayans family, man. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. It wouldn't be for the Wayans, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Anything y'all need from me, it is what it is. Hey, whatever y'all got going, I'm riding for y'all. It is what it is. I'm there because I know my family ate good off of the Wayans. That's how I would take it. This woman ate real good off of the Wayans. And let's call it what it is. She ate real good off of P. Diddy too. Because let's be real. But when she got with P. Diddy, her status went way up when she got with P. Diddy. And she's been up there ever since P. Diddy. This woman has, between the Wayans and P. Diddy, is why she got a career. This woman was not the most talented woman in the world. No. Okay, she did the Selena movie or whatever. Fine. But outside the Selena movie, what have you say, oh my God, just Jennifer Lopez. Matter of fact, she just released an album and the album flopped so bad that she said that she gonna retire from music. She couldn't even sell. She wanted to go on tour. She couldn't sell out no tours, and I didn't even know this. They say when she was doing music, Ashanti was doing a lot of the vocals underneath her vocals. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that all these years? That Ashanti was doing it? I didn't know. I said, oh, so she don't have Ashanti no more. So she's on her own, and people like, yeah, I'm cool on her. I'm cool. And matter of fact, her own community is don't be really rocking with her like that. She had a couple of songs, but it's most of the music that carried her. And then when they put her up there, I think we remember when Joe Biden got into office, it had her sing like, really? I looked at that, I'm like, no, she can't sing, not her. I'm sorry, she just picked somebody else. Because you say Anna Ashanti wrote it too? Okay, cool. But my thing is, if you don't have no talent, be cool with the people that got the talent so I can because the studio, the producers make you look good. But this woman was never loyal to the Wayans. And, the situation with P. Diddy, I kind of heard that she, it was coming out now. They said she the one passed the gun to P. Diddy, they say allegedly, for that club shooting. And if that's true, and that's what really happened, well then she'll get what she deserves. She get locked up. I wouldn't feel bad at all about that because why you sitting up there passing guns? But that's why I know, like I said, I look at that, and even certain black people you gotta watch too. You can't just say other groups because you got some black people that don't have no respect, man. It's like 50. What I respect about 50 is that when they put out the first G Unit album, Tony Yayo was in prison. And every show, 50 put up Tony Yayo's cut in the bank for Tony Yayo when he was in prison. After they got off that tour and all that stuff and Tony Yayo came out of prison, 50 gave him, I think $1 million or so dollars as soon as he came out. And that's how you're supposed to do your people. 50 didn't have to give him nothing because he wasn't there. But 50 being a solid dude gave Tony Yayo his money and say, hey man, you part of the group. You wasn't here. You doing the bid, but man, here you go, bro. And Tony Yayo still talks about that, how 50 took care of him. Now, dudes like Young Buck, he was stupid. I mean, you was getting good with 50 and that's, and I think 50 talk about Lloyd Banks and really want to work as hard or whatever. But the case may be, if you got a solid dude around you that got a track record and he your partner, you stick with them solid people. Look at 50 today, man. 50 has transcended music. He got TV. He got so much stuff going on. Man, 50 is one of my favorite rappers. I would say right, and not so much because I've always liked his rap, but just the way he moved. If you haven't read his book or listened to his book on or whatever, audio book, I tell our brothers to listen to his book. It's a lot of stuff in that book you will really enjoy, man, especially just as a brother and how to move. It gives the insight on how 50 move. I always like how he moved. Yeah, he still gonna ride with 50. Man, look, if you a solid dude, you can't forget what somebody do you a big solid like that. But we got people today that's running around, male or female, that's just not solid people. That's what that is. They not solid. When somebody do something for you, bro, like, oh, do I have the rest of my life give them praise for something? If it's that big of a thing, that person not asking you to big them up every day, but bro, just like my grandmother used to say, just don't forget the bridge that crossed you over. That's all. That's it. Yeah, 50 got a book. Go look it up. It's a great book. Okay, Elegance, if he do got a lawsuit, and when you famous, you sued all the time. Who cares? Let me get this crass person on out of here, cause we don't. You know what? That's one thing I do. I don't play that game. When I'm talking about the folks, I'm talking about the folks. Period. I don't care about nobody's religion. I don't care about nobody's gender. I don't care about nobody's orientation. When I say the folks, that's who I'm talking about. You got people that want to play that game with you and want you to try to separate the folks in different departments and say, oh, no, he's the real problem. It's the conservative. It's the liberal. It's the LGBT. It's this one. No. I don't care what you do in your beliefs. I don't care what your political stance is. I don't care what you do in your orientation. We talking about if you're a part of practicing anti-black racism against my people for the past 400 to 500 years, then that's who I'm talking about. I don't care what you do. Yeah, JL, and that's the thing. Sometimes people don't realize they may need that person again. My grandmother always said that. Be careful with that because you may need that person again. And then now you're going to have to be, eating crow if you have to approach them again. Or you may not approach them at all because you're going to be too doggone embarrassed. That's just a life doggone lesson. Oh, they bringing migrants up there to Spokane? Oh, yes, they're going to bring migrants to Spokane. Migrants are coming everywhere. They're coming to a city near you. Because Spokane, Washington, that's not a spot that's populated with a lot of black people. And you have to understand the folks' birth rates are getting pretty low. So they actually need those migrants. They really need those migrants to manage their economies. So all them little spots like that, they're going to be putting them in those places too. Not just the major cities that we know of like New York, Chicago, or whatever. No, they're going to them little enclaves too. Well, if they truly had if they truly had a uniformity of code, then they would know how far to take it. They done a great job propagandizing the world. They done a great job at making people like really almost worship them to a point. But if they was really smart, they would know how to stop and just let things go the way it is. But because they don't know how to stop, because they want their thirst for power, their thirst for money, their thirst for control, that's their own undoing. They think they're gods. In their mind, they really think I'm a god. When you say the term, even Abraham Lincoln used the term white supremacy himself. When you think of the guys with white supremacy, that means in your mind you are a god. And at the end of the day, the real God is going to show you who's God. See, the real God today caused the eclipse. That's what the real God can do. Now, God has done that many times. Even in the Bible, they talk about how God did basically a solar eclipse for 3 days before. Put the whole earth in darkness. Done it 7 days before. He can do that if he won't. And there's nothing these folks can do to stop it. You better serve the true and living God and not this so-called God with a little g. Because they're not powerful like they think they are. If they were so powerful, why couldn't they not stop the pandemic? If they were powerful, all the money they had, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars they had, they could not stop not a single person from losing their life during the pandemic. With all the money, that pandemic showed the world they have no power. All the nuclear weapons you got, you couldn't stop that. See, the Lord got a way of showing you who you really are. They ain't got no power like that. Please. How come the Africans, how come they're not getting it like it is in Europe? What's going on? You got all the money, you tell us. And then, let's say you got so much power and you came out and you blamed China for it. Why didn't you go invade China then? For causing a weapon of mass destruction on the earth. You didn't go invade them. So you can't be too powerful because you're scared of China. Okay, so Vic says he drive trucks and spotted migrants in Oregon and Idaho last year. Oh, they gonna be there. They going to every state and city near you. So get ready for your new friends. Well, Laverne, let's go with what you just said, Laverne. Let's say if that's true. Well, that's what they get for playing with God, right? Because when they create things, when they do things like that, they do it to harm us. Every time. They used to think that we as Black Americans, descendants of slaves, would be extinct by the year 2000. But God, right? We are built to survive and we are built to thrive. And we also built to rule again. Have you not noticed, and maybe have you not noticed, Black women, listen to me. Have you not noticed that the beauty standard of the world has changed to you completely? The same woman that you used to, her beauty standard, I remember, I've seen the change. You go back to 1980s, 1990-ish or so, maybe even early 2000s. It was all the Caucasian female, the Taylor Swifts of the world, right? Now today, those same women not even trying to mimic Taylor Swift. They mimicking Black women. They getting all the braids they want. They used to say Black women's lips were nasty and ugly. Now they injecting all kind of Botox, that's chemicals, in their lips who are they mimicking? They're surely not mimicking their own people. They going out here getting the same surgeries, the BBLs. I haven't heard a single white man say that he want his women to go out and get some BBL. Not a single one. Whatever how Black women dress, they're copying it to the letter. They look at what Black women do and go do it. Whatever Black women music, they go listen to it. Whatever Black women date, they go date too. Like people really haven't seen the beauty standard has switched, and that's not stopping no time soon. When the beauty standard switched, what does that mean? That means the folks kind of lost control over the beauty standard. The only thing that sisters got to get out of their system is embrace more of the natural hair on your head and do the millions of styles with your natural hair and throw away them doggone wigs. Throw that mess away and don't say protective styles, because Black men have proven that's a lie. Because they got Black men that got natural hairstyles down their doggone back, and they don't have no protective styles. They don't wear no wigs. Them Black men got their hair done and do whatever they do. So no, that was just say you didn't want to do your hair that day, and let's just go ahead and do that. When other people are cutting hair out their head and putting it on your head, people have their own spirits. People have their own things attached to hair. And you trying to weave that into your actual hair, attaching their spirits and their essence to you. And you wonder why something's going on with you, because you are attaching other people's essence to you, and it should not be attached to that. God has given you your own hair to grow out your head, and we have seen that our hair grow down our back down to the floor. Our own hair. So that's the last thing that I see that needs to be conquered, is that. Completely. A lot of it is conquered, but it needs to be conquered all the way. That way, when you completely conquer it, listen, you got Asians that's literally putting chemicals in their hair, Asian men that have hair like mine, hair just like mine, to get waves that's in my hair like theirs. Don't tell me the beauty standards haven't changed. Don't tell me that. And when the beauty standards change, then eventually the rule is going to change. Listen, I love I've always had my natural hair my whole life, whether I cut it, whatever the case may be. I mean, the length I have it is manageable for me and what I do. You know, I get my hair cut every week. I love getting my hair cut every week, you know, and everything, talking to the barber and all of that. That's just what I do. You know, the beard, how I feel about the beard. Ever since I was a child, I felt men, you know, the ultimate thing a man wears is a beard. I felt like that as a little boy. And I used to say, I can't wait to have a beard. I can't wait to have that. And that's why you see me with my beard now. And Lord bless, you know, I'll keep my beard, you know, until the day the Lord ready for me. Now, some people say, hey, well, God commands you to have a beard. Well, I guess I'm staying in the commandments, right? And then another thing, talking about the beard. Have you noticed when the brothers start wearing their beard, the way brothers wear their beard today? You notice the males or the folks, all of them wearing beards now. Now forever, come on, y'all know the males always are clean shaven. They didn't have no beards like that. Maybe your bikers or something like that or whatever. You know, certain groups would have beards. But have you noticed more of them wear beards today than ever? But I noticed that trend when brothers start really wearing their beards, all of a sudden they start wearing it. Like I said, everybody always copying us, man. It is what it is. Hey, you know, you want to, you don't have to have a beard. Some people can't grow a beard. That's number one. And that's fine. You don't have to have a beard. You keep your mustache. You want to be clean shaven. That's fine. Nothing against you. I'm just talking about me and how I feel. Well, man, wear whatever he want on his face. Your face, your choice, right? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost brought that time. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. It's very important. Make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app. That's very important. In the Google Play and Apple App Store. Make sure you do that. And that's also what you can do to help us out. And also thank y'all for listening. Tune back in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the live.